probably been dealing this 4 weeks. I think back to the Cleveland start was like when I started dealing, we were bouncing back a little slower in between, and, just been focusing on trying to get back every start, and we were obviously able to do that and get it to a good place. But, the 5-day turn this week, and I think earlier on in the game, it felt okay. And then as the game progressed, it started to tighten up a little bit on me.
What alarmed you enough tonight to kind of let them know and essentially be pulled from the game?
I mean, just pitch to pitch, I didn't feel, 100%. I felt like the whole night I was kind of guarding it a little bit, and, on the breaking balls and stuff, like really not ripping them or trying to get a lot behind them. So I felt like I was kind of cutting some things off, and it was obviously reflecting in my stuff. And, I think I just was trying to be smart, So hopefully I did the right move and pulled it out early enough. And, obviously I was pissed to come out of that game. And in the second or right around the third inning, to the Springer AB, I was like really trying to get through that inning and, hopefully, kind of help the bullpen a little bit, but obviously very frustrating.
You mentioned that. Is that why you only threw 2 knuckle curves tonight? I mean, that's usually a pitch you go to quite a bit.
Yes and no. I think part of the game plan was to kind of attack with the fastballs, and so I wouldn't say that's a specific reason, but definitely wasn't out there trying to rip off a ton of breaking balls.
How concerned are you about the MRI tomorrow?
I mean, anytime you're getting an MRI on your forearm or whatever the body part is, you're not feeling happy about it. So, I'm praying everything that's going to be clean and minor, but we'll see what happens.
Even if it is minor, with the All-Star break so close, do you think it'd be smart to just shut it down a little bit here?
Yeah, like I said, it's it's hard to be hypothetical and say anything tonight when we don't have really any answers, but it's probably not a bad idea, but we'll see. I think obviously we're everything here is big picture, and we understand that the focus is on playoffs and making sure that you're good down the stretch and not trying to push through something and make it a serious problem.
Clarke, you said the last 3 or 4 weeks you've been feeling it. Why not get it tested in that stretch? Is it because during the games you really weren't feeling it and it was more between the starts and the recovery?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that go into that. I think, I was feeling fine and my results were really good, and being able to go out there every 5 days and get myself back to where I was executing pitches and my stuff I'm still throwing velocity-wise where I normally am, so nothing alarming from that end. And it's not like, guys are dealing with stuff all the time throughout the year. So if I was to be like, oh, I'm extra sore this week, let me pull the chute and not go out there and pitch, then I don't know if I would ever pitch. So I think, and that goes for a lot of guys in this league. I think, there comes a point in the season where, your 100% is a lot different than what it looks like in spring training and in the beginning of the year. So, yeah, I think that's probably the main reason.
Has there been a time in the past where you tried to pitch through something like this with the forearm?
Honestly, I've never had elbow stuff before. Obviously, I had Tommy John in college, but it was just kind of came out of nowhere type thing, and never really, after coming back and rehabbing that, I never had elbow stuff.
What's your concern level?
Picture. What are you seeing with this team right now? Losing 14 out of 15.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're in the thick of it right now, and it's a tough stretch. And I think, in my career as a Yankee, I can think about this happening almost every single year, and it feels like around June and July where, we kind of grind a little bit and we're going through it, and, we're being tested for sure. So I think obviously we got to stick together as a group and keep our heads down and continue to show up and play every day.
Who has said that this roster is equipped to get through this, maybe more so than past rosters that he's had? Do you agree with that? Is it because of the leadership, starting with Judge? What's your thoughts on that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, obviously it starts from the top, and I think, we have a core group of guys who have worn this uniform for a long time and have done some great things in this game, and obviously, we have really, really good leadership, and it's just part of it. Failure is part of this game. You're going to lose in this game, and that's why we play 160 games. It's not, these aren't 80-game seasons. They're long years, so you're going to go through stretches where things aren't going your way, you're not performing, and, you got to make adjustments. So that's kind of the period that we're in right now.
To be clear, where exactly are you feeling? Is it right directly in the elbow, in the forearm? Like, where is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to pinpoint, but just general forearm, elbow area. So we'll see. Yeah.
You mentioned that these losing streaks kind of happen year to year. But is it at all confusing to you that this does keep happening to you guys?
No, I think if it's to me, it's so consistent that it happens. It's almost like just baseball. I think you can chalk it up to. You don't see a lot of teams coming out here and winning 120, 130 games. Like, it's just, you're going to go through stretches where you lose, and and wins don't come easy in this league. And I think, when you're kind of backs against the wall and you have some injuries here and there, and you're not producing at the level across the board, top to bottom. I think you're going to go through stretches where you lose games, and right now we're kind of battling uphill right now. So, but we understand that it's going to kind of even out, and the ball will start rolling in our favor.